everyone, welcome back to my channel and thanks again for coming back. That sounds so desperate. Thanks for joining me again, guys. I have another fun munchies from the movies for you guys. This one's a little bit of a throwback to my childhood. And I know I've promised you guys a pizza recipe from scratch, so this is gonna be the episode where you learn how to make a pizza from scratch. So very exciting, very tasty, of course. And it's gonna be a little bit different because I'm not just gonna be doing a cheese pizza. I'm gonna be doing the legendary, what I thought was a Skittles pizza, which technically was an M&M's pizza. Did not know until I did a little bit more research. But the M&M pizza from the Princess Diaries. Now, if you've seen the movie, you know that she missed this big concert that this guy that she was kind of dating was throwing because she decided to spend time with the town douchebag. So she felt bad, and to apologize, she sent a pizza with M&Ms because he loves M&Ms and he was always eating them. Now, the reason I know that they're M&Ms, just because looking at the picture of the sorry pizza, there are brown M&Ms and everyone knows there's no such thing as a brown Skittles. So this made things a little bit more difficult because obviously Skittles are already vegan, so I wouldn't have to do much work with that. But I had to find an M&M vegan alternative. So I ended up finding Unreal, but the colors were not the same and they're a little bit bigger than M&Ms. But you still get the same idea of what they were trying to go for in the movie. So let's go ahead and get started. So with the crust, we're gonna start with a packet of dry active yeast, and we're just gonna toss that in there with a cup of warm water. And make sure it's warm but not hot. If it's too hot, it will kill the yeast and it will not rise. Then we're just gonna mix that up and let that sit until it gets foamy, which is about 5 to 10 minutes. So while that's going on, I'm gonna start getting my dry ingredients together, and we're gonna start with a tablespoon of garlic salt. Then we're gonna add a packet of Truvia. This also equates to 2 teaspoons of any sweetener or sugar that you have. And I'm gonna be adding a teaspoon of Italian seasoning as well. This pizza crust is flavored. I add a lot of seasoning. So we're also gonna add a teaspoon of dried basil. And then we're also going to be getting a teaspoon of dried oregano. And I used ground dried oregano for this. You do not have to use that, just any kind of dried oregano that you have. I said oregano very weird there. And then we're going to mix that up real quick. And now we're going to add a tablespoon of olive oil. I decided to be bougie. I decided to be bougie and do black truffle. Well, you couldn't taste it, so I wouldn't worry about getting a truffle oil. I wanted to see how it turned out, but olive oil works just as good. And then we're gonna be adding the flour. So it equates to about being 3 cups, but I decided to do half a cup at a time just to make it easier to kind of get everything incorporated. I then added the dry seasoning and then continue adding more flour until it got to the consistency that I liked. Then I'm gonna just take that out of the bowl and set it on the counter. And you might need to knead it a little bit and add more flour to make sure it's not too wet. So when it gets to a nice firm consistency, not too firm, but we want everything to be dry and intact, we're gonna grease down a bowl and we're gonna toss the dough into the bowl to rise. And then once the dough is in the bowl, we're gonna cover it with some wrap, some plastic wrap, and set that aside for about an hour. And now we're gonna get started on the pizza sauce while we're waiting for the dough to rise. I already added a teaspoon of garlic salt as well as a teaspoon of garlic powder. I then added another packet of Truvia, which again would be 2 teaspoons of any sweetener you have. I also tossed in about 1.5 teaspoons of dried oregano and half a teaspoon of ground pepper and mixed that all up and then set that aside. Really easy to make your own pizza sauce. I feel like a lot of people think you have to put it over a stove and have it be this big, long process. And really you could just throw seasonings into tomato sauce and then make a really good pizza sauce that way. So now let's take a look at our pizza dough. We can see how much it rose. It is big and fluffy and puffy now. We're gonna take that onto our surface And then I tried to flatten it down without adding more flour, which as you can see was a mistake. So decided to go back a few steps and add more flour because obviously mine was a little bit wet still. So then go ahead and knead that if you feel like yours is wet too. And then try and get into a pretty circular shape. You can see all the seasonings speckled out in there. That looks nice. So once it's in the shape that you want, go ahead and add it to a pizza sheet and roll it out a little bit more to fit the sheet or your pizza, what are they called? The pizza bricks? My college roommate used to have one and that was so nice making it. What was it? It's like a rock, a pizza rock, whatever it's called. It's amazing to make pizza on and I need to get one, but this will do for now. And also if you're not using a pizza rock, I know I'm not using that term right, but if you know what I'm talking about, then please put down some parchment paper just so it won't stick. And then we're gonna add a very good amount of tomato sauce. I like when the tomato sauce goes all the way to the edges, so that's what I did. And we brought out the good shit for this. We got the Miyokos, which tastes almost identical. For me, it tastes identical to non-vegan cheese. It is so delicious, you guys. You gotta give it a try. It is on the pricey side, so it's something you would need to splurge on, but definitely worth a try, especially if you don't love Daiya and you're looking for better alternatives. So now for the fun part. Once the pizza is baking in the oven, we're going to take out the Unreal M&Ms and start to separate them by color so we can start to spell out sorry. So I got one with peanuts. I don't know how this is going to turn out on the pizza. I don't think any of them are going to taste good on the pizza, but for aesthetics, we're going to do it. And I also got some dark chocolate ones to get a variation of color. So I just separated these all out by color. And it wasn't even enough. They had 2 little blue ones. So I obviously had to be creative and reuse some of the colors that I had. So it wasn't as, I think, aesthetically pleasing as the one in the movie, but it still got the job done. So if you see, I'm gonna spell it out onto the pizza, and these are so much thicker than regular M&Ms that it's kind of funny, but not bad. The pizza was still delicious. I tried one with a couple of the Unreal M&Ms on it and I didn't like it. Surprisingly enough, I don't like chocolate and pizza together. But after you have a slice and have a couple of the M&Ms on the side, it's always good to have like that mixture of salty and sweet. So that was nice, but having them on the pizza was not a winner for me. But it looked so pretty. If you're looking to make a really tasty pizza at home from scratch, this is a really easy recipe that you can do and share with your friends and family. Heck, let's have a screening party of Princess Diaries. I feel like all my episodes you could do a screening party for. But how fun would it be to watch Princess Diaries with your friends, have like a throwback night, and you bring out a sorry pizza. They're gonna freak. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you give it a try, don't forget to leave a comment down below and tell me how it turned out. Also, you can tag me on Instagram. I would love that at Raritz Aisha, same as the name of this channel, but with no spaces. Thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.